What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back after a week's hiatus because life sucks. Hey, players, how you doing?
Doing dandy.
Yay! We're back again. Yay! So here we are. It's another session. We're on our way to Seedland, picking up from last time that these players played. So we're heading off down southeast from, well, we were kind of at Vegas. Call it Weiberg, but let's call it Vegas. I think some of the groups passed through orgies on the way back home, but this particular group was headed off to go and hopefully defend them from a horde of shambling dead that may be headed there. Among other dudes who were dressed in black talking to a box. But on that note, I guess you guys are probably catching up, so over to you.
So, I'm given to understand from the letters that I received to gather up these mercenaries for you that you have something of a situation going on here in Lothar. Given that I have been away engaged in we'll call it diplomatic activities on behalf of the town, what did you find precisely?
Well, do you remember there was the town that was decimated and we set off to go and help out as much as we could? It turned out that they had reports of the undead attacking, which we expected, but there was also eyewitnesses reporting that there were humans, live humans, working alongside the undead.
Raiders.
So we assume raiders. So we went off to track them down, and we thought there was only a small number of them, but we found almost an army of the undead, and a group of raiders that were talking to a box, it looked like. But that's largely irrelevant. The key fact is that the box told them to attack this town next, and it seems that they want the dead. They're not after food or valuables. They seem to want to just kill as many as they can and, I guess, boost their numbers.
So, they need bodies.
Yeah, it's a really macabre recruitment drive.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, by all means.
I was gonna say, we got any idea why they're trying to do this?
We didn't really hang around to find out, did we?
No. Glad we got out when we could.
I mean, given the long-term objectives of the likely responsible parties, I would assume they're going to need an army for several things, including to go back and potentially retake their castle. But unfortunately, I don't wish to be conscripted into a horde of shambling dead.
I'm not too sure I'm that bothered about their actual motive. I just don't want to join them.
Well, the biggest difficulty, of course, is that all of us are just kind of a small speed bump. But if we can keep them from getting inertia and keep their numbers small enough to be manageable, we might have a chance of actually stopping this. And I'm very curious to have a conversation with that box after the many conversations we've had with books, people holding books, people who were not who they appeared to be, and all of the various other things associated with that. Honestly, talking to a box is probably one of the more mundane things I've done in the last 2 years.
There's always the possibility that they're just crazy and there's nothing in the box.
Oh, we heard it talking.
Is it a sad commentary on my life that I didn't even consider that to be an option?
Well, when a talking box is the least of your worries, I think it speaks to the situation.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, the plan is, if you bought those mercenaries, is that we're going to try and defend this town. We've evacuated all the outlying farms and bits, and hopefully we'll be able to defend easier from the town and stop this recruitment drive, or at least slow it down.
I'm hopeful that we'll be able to succeed in this. Only one, perhaps, difficult stumbling point we have perhaps been much more diplomatically connected with her former paramour than we have been with her. I have no doubt that she'll be grateful for the assistance, but as I have been given notice of, she may still harbor something of a grudge from the circumstances surrounding our former trade partner.
So, another human with a grudge.
Yes, I've found it distressingly common lately that is more of an obstacle than the shambling horde of flesh-eating zombies.
Well, what disturbs me is why are there humans helping the undead?
Yes, and it's the worrying fact that are there any more here that are helping them? Are we going to face trouble inside as well as outside the walls?
Well, I suppose it's going to be our responsibility to track down. We'll just have to keep our eyes open. But have we sent ahead any advance riders? There, where are we coming?
Yes, my guard have gone ahead.
Good. The last thing I want is to show up uninvited with a small army. Gives the wrong impression.
Well, there may be a slight issue in that there's 10 of my guard turned up. So hopefully they don't see that as threatening.
I reckon
I'm sure
10
you'll be
ain't,
able to smooth it out.
I reckon 10 ain't too many.
Considering that last town had 1 guardsman.
Well, I suppose for that last town, 10 might be an army.
Well, I have faith in you, Yodicus. I'm sure you'll smooth it out.
Oh, lovely. Great. Wonderful. I'm sure it will go swimmingly. Lazarus, you mentioned something.
Yes. What did I mention?
No. The idea of the people working with them, do we have any conception at this point of their origin? Do we know where they came from? Or who they are?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know anything about that. All I know is that there's people working for them, and that disturbs me. And that makes me curious if we're going to have saboteurs and spies on the inside.
Kind of makes me wonder, how do they go about not having them things kill them? I mean, them things see us, they come right after us, right? So how are they safe?
It's an excellent point.
I imagine the dead are very good at following orders.
But from whom?
Precisely.
Well, possibly from whoever was talking through a box.
You're assuming the box isn't actually the thing doing the talking.
Or they ain't inside the box, whatever it is, like a little some kind of little monster.
Do you think you do shadow magic?
They could be using anything.
I think we don't actually do. I have any conception, Hydra, of what may be allowing these people not to be eaten?
A small person inside the box is a strong possibility. Other than that, a pact with the dead. Or whoever's controlling the dead.
Whoever's controlling it.
The living sometimes work with necromancers. It's normally with promise of immortality, yada yada yada. That old cliche.
Got it. So we're dealing with suckers. Got it.
Yes, armed suckers at the back of an undead army.
Correct. Who can think, which is probably the more dangerous thing.
Yes. Well, I suppose we'd best meet with the whoever's in charge here, or we're going to meet hostility behind us as well as in front of us.
And one thing, just try to be polite to the Baroness. I hope that her gratitude for assistance and warning of a potential attack will outweigh her preconceived notions of what we stand for.
Do we know anything in particular about her personality?
How would I put this? I'm given to understand that she is someone who is not terribly forgiving of old slights and has a tendency to take things personally.
So, standard lord or lady.
Yes, pretty much. You're not wrong.
Did you mention earlier that she has a reason to hold a grudge against us?
Well, there may be some certain border. You remember that ditch that the Lord would cut the legs off of people who crossed it?
Yes.
Yes, well, she was the person on the other side of the ditch, you see.
Oh.
Yes. So, the difficulty here becomes that while we never did engage in any active support, we did engage in trade for lumber, clay, etc. So there might be, how would I say this? A certain amount of resentment, perhaps. We just didn't pick a side, and unfortunately with these two, near as I can tell, they didn't really believe that you couldn't pick a side, despite the fact that I don't care much about their relationship one way or the other. And as it turns out, of course, you know, there was that whole incident with the gentleman's father, and people wearing people's skin, and it was just, yeah, well, you know, the rest.
Well, I don't think I quite heard nothing about anybody wearing people's skin, but that beside
they left
the point.
that out when they told you to. They left that out when they told you to come with us. I see. Well, I start staring at Lothar very hard.
Yeah,
Sorry, we didn't get around to talking about that. There was a long list of other things to get through.
I see.
Well, perhaps you could give our esteemed Jebediah a, how would I put it, a succinct briefing on that particular disaster.
I think I'll listen on that on the way in, but I was going to say we do have a bit of good news, I think, dealing with this particular lady that you mentioned. Even if she does seem to, let's say, want to put an end to us, she probably ain't likely to do it immediately. Because if she does believe that there's some encroaching nasties coming her way, she'll be more than happy to let us throw ourselves in between her little village or town and these things.
Yeah, she puts us on the front line, expect to be stabbed in the back once the fighting's over. We just need to be aware of the possibility. I thought I'd put it on the table, given that, again, long memories in these parts about bad relationships, and given that we hadn't really established any kind of relationship except me passing through once on a horse, passing out notification of appointment to lordship, well, that's the last time I saw her other than the party, at which point I just waved at her and then proceeded to speak to her ex, which is a whole problem. Thankfully, again, there was the whole incident with the skin, so perhaps she'll be more diplomatic, but I just wanted us to be aware that perhaps though we need to stop this problem, we should also be aware of the potential that people are petty, vindictive, and, how would I say this? They seek advantage.
Despite all the other problems we face.
Well, you know, if it wasn't for the rest of us, we'd have been able to take care of most of these other problems long ago. But no, the nature of men is to argue with each other over petty nonsense. If they didn't, I wouldn't have a job.
And on that note, gentlemen, I would say you probably arrive at your destination of Seedling. A town many of you have not been to before, but a town that is about to have a party. An undead party. Arrive attempting to raid it. Town is busy.
How does the town match my memories of it? Is there anything different from the first time I saw it?
Yes, some of the buildings have collapsed. It's been attacked already, you would assume. Not all of them, but maybe 3, 4, maybe 5 buildings have either collapsed in on themselves or been torn apart. But of note. And I would say, in company with you, Yodicus, are a few mercenaries. Although they could well have arranged to meet you here, in which case they'll arrive momentarily. But
I think we perhaps would have ridden ahead of.
Yeah, it makes sense. They'll arrive in but an hour, and we will ignore the extra tokens for now. Gentlemen, you have a town. There is a tower. The other side of the street, marking the central location of the town. Periodicus, you'd know this to be where Greta lives.
I think on arriving, I will probably head over to speak with... I don't know if I would speak directly with her, or if I would speak with whoever the Master of Arms is in her, what I call it, prime functionary, I guess. Her Chancellor, if there is one. I'm trying to remember, because there's a lot of these people that have different ways of doing things, and I'm trying to remember her specifics, but...
Sure. Yeah, the gentleman who is turning about face to you, with a military look to him, is the captain of the guard locally, and oversees a large amount of the local defences and a degree of the town management.
Do I know his name?
Sure. It is... You choose.
Heinrich. I shall call him Heinrich.
And on that day, he was known as Heinrich. Okay. Heinrich has been born.
Well, good.
That'll do for spelling.
Right. I am going to approach Heinrich and introduce myself and my company as articulately as possible. Rolls 91. Okay. So I'll go up to him and how would I present this? I was kind of rolling to see how well I would do this. Master Heinrich, it's been so long. I wanted to bring word to you that we have come bringing reinforcements for the unfortunate wave of the dead that appears to be poised to fall on the town.
Speak plainly. What are you barking on about?
I have a bunch of men with weapons to keep the dead things out of your town.
Oh, right. Well, what are you going to do? Stand on the walls?
Depends. We have... Actually, how many? We have 10 mercenaries and 10 guardsmen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We have a full score of men to stand on the walls with you, if need be.
Wait. Hang about. We killed the last old deadites.
I look at Lothar.
Well, they can't have beaten us here.
Well, that's good, then they haven't beaten us here. We may have passed them on the march.
Well, it was about a week ago they attacked us and we drove them off. Well, I say that, we cut them to pieces, but it wasn't after having some problems of our own. I mean, as you can see, we suffered a few casualties, a few buildings have been neglected. They are on my to-do list, but...
What of the walls? Are they compromised?
Oh, well, a little bit. Bit rocky, bit shaky, but for the most part, they're walls. Old, tell me, a little local Morite's been helping us out.
Are there any,
I have literally no clue if he's lying to my face or not.
Sure. Fair enough.
It's like, I just don't know.
were there any living among the attackers?
Well, no. Living? He pulls the expression of shock to you. No. Why would the living be working with the dead? Well, it seems like jam and marmalade mixed together. An awful combination.
I agree with you there. I don't rightly know myself.
How many dead attacked you?
How about 8?
Hey,
Well, there's 45 behind us. Which is a lot more than 8.
This is a cool test. 45. Well, it's a good job you're here then, isn't it? You come just in time.
that was the plan.
I see. 45 slow-moving things.
I look at Lothar again.
Not as slow as I'd like.
Should have enough time, hopefully, to get defences ready for them.
Well, I would like to be prepared. What were... We're talking the deceased that have raised, are we? Not too twisted. Well, hang about. Several people within the town just sort of looking... Even the dog looking at you. Somewhat concerned. Hang about, let's, come on with me to me quarters. We'll have a talk.
After you.
What would do for a quarters? Sorry, it's a little cramped in here. Excuse me. There we go. Right, you welcome to the barracks. So, what was the question? Ah, yeah. How slow moving. The ones we had were like men only dead. Some were wearing armour.
That's what most of this is.
Right.
But there are also living humans with them. They say that they were bandits or raiders, not sure which, but we've never seen it before.
Where did you come from? You say they're behind you.
We came from the north.
The north. Oh, is it that little old twerp up there, Mr. What's his name? The old geezer with the old inventions and that.
Engelbrecht.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's where we came from. Well, just south of him, because that's where we found these forces.
Right.
And when we crept into their camp, we heard them saying that this was the next target. So,
Right.
Given Engelbrecht's proclivities, I'm doubting that he's behind this. For one thing, I don't think he has the gumption would be the word.
Right, well, it's a good job you're here, really, because after we're done defending ourselves from this incoming wave of attack, we're actually due to be setting siege to the remainders of Yenberg for past crimes, of course. So you could join us, probably.
gonna look at Jodicus at this point.
How would I say this? I have been given specific instructions by my lords to participate in preventing your town from falling to the dead. I have not been authorized to proceed in any other additional engagements. However, I can inquire with Lord Sigurd as to the exact specifics of what he will allow us to participate in. You must understand, I would hate to be on the receiving end of my lord's displeasure. And I stare at him pointedly.
Make a roll of some sort.
I'm gonna try charm. Am I any good at this? I don't know.
And he's going to oppose it with a thing.
I am going to use a fortune point because I can't roll above an 80 today.
Nah.
There
Okay,
we go.
you
That's
roll better.
more normal.
He rolled pretty well.
Yeah, he did roll pretty well.
From what I
This is
hear of Mr. Old Sigurd, you would much rather less be on the receiving end of Greta. For she is a far harsher mistress after all, and she is well within her rights legally to seek revenge on the man who did
seek an end to her marriage.
I would never think of standing in the way of her seeking her just revenge. I'm just stating that I'm not sure we have the participation ability to assist you in the endeavor. It might exceed my remit. That being said, I wish you the best of luck with it.
Well, I will speak to Greta. Perhaps we can consider some sort of remuneration, for we have actually some mercenaries in our company who are unarmed.
How
So
many
you have
armed
mercy.
men do you have?
We have in total 15 guard, who 4 of which we had to decapitate, for they were bitten by the dead, and we felt it prudent to make sure that they remained non-undead. So I think that leaves us with 11.
Is that how it works? You get bitten, you change?
We're unaware of such a correlation, but we felt it prudent to be sure that it would not happen. Once tainted, a man will never surely return.
I see.
That is at least Greta's assumption, and we believe it to be most prudent. We do have as well 5 mercenaries, however, in order to avoid the poll tax, they have come unarmed.
Is there a way we can arm them?
You can find them weapons, surely.
Well, do you have a store that can provide weapons, like a blacksmith? Give them spears or something.
Currently, they have been armed with sticks and nails, for, as you can see, our blacksmith is currently in need of a small amount of tender, loving care.
Points over to a pile of rubble.
Oh.
Unfortunately, one of the Deadeyes had bit him, and his blood had sprayed all over the property, so we decided it would be better to burn it down.
Oh.
Well, I suppose I can't blame you for being too cautious.
Better to be thorough.
Indeed. Well, perhaps we can, in some fashion, see to the arming and equipping of appropriate parties.
Certainly.
I'm thinking to myself, we just brought more of an army than they have any kind of access to.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. I look at Lothar. You're the tactician. Any thoughts?
Well, we should probably work on defenses as soon as possible. Have you still got the equipment from the guards you ended rightfully?
No, we buried it alongside their decapitated corpses in accordance with the rights of Moor, thus allowing them to serve in the afterlife.
A very fair course of action.
Indeed.
Well, maybe they can be making sure that they can act as runners or something for if there's other forces that we're not aware of.
Right.
In the meantime, our armed forces can... well, my guards all set to defences, creating defences, as they're trained in such things, and we'll get our mercenaries to the most likely points of attack from the enemy forces, and then, well, I wouldn't presume to command your own forces.
Oh, fear not. Our soldiers are trained in various arts of battle and formations and salutations, so we should be forthrightly equipped and adequately armed.
He's full of nonsense, isn't he?
He's kind of like, maybe back in the day when he was a young lad he did this, but you get the impression he was probably drafted in as someone that has a vague recollection of what they should do.
So they're planning a siege with 8 men. Admittedly, to a depopulated town, but still.
Well, as I could say, it is very good news you are here. We had not heard news of such an attack. Therefore, we will be grateful that you will be taking the front line.
Indeed.
Speaking of, I should see to the defenses.
I will see to my mercenaries, make sure that they are properly given their orders and their pay.
I could use help by finding some herbs that'll give us an edge against the undead. It's called grave root. Have you heard of it?
Grave root. Grave root. Unfortunately for you, sir, roots are made of stone. Or graves are made of stone, rather. Therefore, they tend not to have roots.
It's... Okay. You know what? Is it possible I can get a guide to the graveyard, and I could look for the plant myself?
Oh, you may look around the Garden of Moor if you so wish. We have it within our walls over the other side of town. We like to keep our dead where we could keep an eye on them.
Is that where the ones that got bitten been buried?
Oh, yes.
Right. I certainly don't want to go anywhere near those and risk anything untoward happening to us. You understand?
Too rightly brave of you, sir. And sensible.
Points over to the statue, other side of town. Seems to be a shrine to Moor.
Okay. Okay.
Gentlemen, who's doing what?
So I was gonna say I'll be tied up with the mercenaries. I'll let him. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was going to head for the guards to make sure that the defences are put up. So probably in the same direction as Yodicus for the mercenaries.
And I assume that the Garden of Moor, there's probably a fair number of witnesses around there.
Probably. Might be a few people praying and such.
Never mind.
I mean, there'll probably be a quiet corner if you need a piddle.
No, I was considering possibly exhuming the weapons.
Someone's a naughty boy. You could. I don't know.
I could arrange for a distraction or a gathering of people.
Well, I tell you what. Heinrich, before you make plans, is going to...
excuse me, I have some urgent paperwork I need to speak to. Oh, yes, this paperwork is very interesting.
He's off doing his own thing. You guys can chat.
I will probably walk over to Lazarus and Jebediah and look at them and say, perhaps, although I do not wish to call down the wrath of the gods, I think... more thorough inspection of the Garden of Moor might be called for many reasons.
I agree with you, sir. Give him a nod.
I'm going to put my fingers in my ears and go, I didn't hear anything. Moor hates me already.
Yeah,
of all the gods you wish to aggravate at a time when the Walking Dead are approaching.
Tough times call for tough measures, or something like that's a saying. And I'm keeping my voice down a bit and kind of glancing over a little bit over at Heinrich. And I look back to Yodicus. Like, well, so I was thinking, and maybe you're on the same line of thought. They buried perfectly good weapons with them boys. So now, obviously, I don't want get nothing on my hands. I might put on some gloves or or something. But I figure, why don't we just dig up the weapons if nobody's looking and just say we found them someplace else or bought them or make up any story you like and put them in the hands of some people who can use them. Better we save lives and risk dying, right?
As much as I like your line of thinking, I'm going to look the other way if you do this.
Lazarus and the gods have a how would I put this, a touchy relationship at best.
Because
For my part, I have seen too many bad things come from grave robbing. I'm not going to ask any questions. Of course, if a man chooses to do something of his own volition, well, that's his choice. But I
think I understand your meaning, sir. I might take a look around town, and if any weaponry happens to make itself known to me somehow or other, I'll bring it forth to you, and we'll see what happens.
I think about this for a moment. Fair enough, sir. Fair enough.
Right.
Oh, lots of wink, wink, nudge, nudge going on there.
Okay, who wants to take the lead?
I think Jebediah, because this is his plan. Well, also, to be fair, Lazarus does want to actually look at the graveyard for his own reasons, so...
Yeah.
I will arrange for some kind of thing that is distracting. Not violently so, just kind of being loud and annoying while getting my troops together to make sure nothing bad happens to the town.
Okay, so we go off to a Garden of Moor. Heinrich is not. Eodicus, Jupiter. Lothar's off with his troops.
Yep.
And
I've had enough near misses with the gods.
Yes. Oh, okay. Refreshing scene. Cool. Yeah, now's a good time to do that. Black screen. That's fun too. Okay, cool. Well, we'll just roll with it. So, canvas failed. Screen is too large. How about fuck you, Foundry? We've barely just started. Okay, cool. It's frozen. Okay, we're just going to have like a quick couple-minute bio, okay, I guess, because Foundry, okay. Standard week. See you in a couple minutes. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, we're back on a
Hello.
black screen. Oh, motherfuckers. Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. We're just going to load a different screen. And then we're going to load a new screen again. And could anyone else see the map? I'll load you a new map. See if
It's
this
loading
works.
up for me.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just haven't refreshed on my actual camera. Let's try that. Camera. There we go. Welcome to tech support with Hydra. Have I delivered excellent customer service?
Yes.
Give up.
Customer service
Yeah.
is always excellent.
Okay. We've done things. Don't open DevTools. No.
Should it be black right now?
No. Actually,
my
yes. Yes, it should. Now
Yes.
it should
Okay,
have
there
colour.
we go.
Now it should be colour and look
Hooray!
like a garden of more, but we have no music, but I don't care. You're in a garden, Jebediah and Lazarus. Have fun.
Right. Are there any shovels or anything around?
There's spooky music you can't hear. There we go. Are there any random shovels laying around?
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
strangely. You'll have to work for one.
Oddly, no.
Do I need to do like a perception roll to find where the bodies are buried? Should be fresh graves.
Easy perception to find them.
Well, he's doing that, Hydra.
Yep.
I'm going to be searching for grave root around the entire Moore's Garden.
Okay. Okay.
What skill should I use?
So
More
what?
plants.
Yeah. I mean, it's a scavenging role, isn't it? So it's
Mm.
it's not law plants. It's trade
More
herbalist.
survival?
I think they changed the rules though, didn't they? Where it,
I'd have
Yeah.
to look.
for whatever the rule is for gathering herbs, you're the damn apothecary.
Well, when I gather herbs, I use lore plants.
Okay, law plants then.
Challenging.
Ugh. How do you want to go about doing it?
Well, I'd start where grave root grows most common, then I would scatter throughout the rest of the graveyard looking. I'm trying to find grave root to
Are
give.
you going to be very careful that no one sees you, or are you just going to walk around and just gather plants from here?
I mean, like, I'm gathering grave root. I'm not going to disturb any graves.
Sure. Just roll me an average then.
Oh, wow.
Gather quite a lot of grapefruit. Do you recall what the difficulty number is for it? I'm feeling it's like 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
Something like that. Let's say you get 2 and 2.5 portions of grapefruit, enough to cover 2 large weapons and a small weapon.
Okay, cool.
Mark it in the background, Jebediah, the perfect cover sound, while you search around and see a couple graves that look dirtier than the others with less moss on them.
Is anyone in the immediate vicinity, or that would be able to see me if I were to do anything?
You believe that you are relatively alone.
Right. Let's see. Can I look around for anywhere that might house a shovel? I imagine they have to have something to bury people with.
Sure. You don't need to roll, because looking around you'll see a central shrine, which is a statue of Moore himself, and a small, instead of a temple, there are sort of a series of platforms where offerings are put, and a hut. Looks like a small shack.
Okay. I'll just do a quick circle around the hut, just to make sure there's no one on the opposite end of it or anything.
Okay.
And if it's clear, I'll check the door to see if it's unlocked.
Average perception for me first.
Okay. Oop, hold on. I think that was that average? Quite too fast.
Sure.
It's whatever auto-loaded.
Yeah, average.
No, I think that was challenging, actually.
Okay.
But,
So you're pretty confident that it is not inhabited currently. The door is locked, but the window is a little bit shaky and could be jimmied relatively easily.
I'll try to jimmy the window then.
Okay. I'll give you the option of brute force or dexterity.
Let me check real quick. I think I'll try dexterity.
We'll just do an average dexterity roll, just to simply see if you can do this without having to resort to ripping it open.
Okay.
Okay. It rattles. No joy.
I'll do a fortune point on that.
Okay.
Let me see. Sorry, where do I click again for a fortune point?
You right-click your dexterity test in the chat,
Found
and a reroll. That'll do it. Okay. You roll up your sleeve, try again, and dink. Meanwhile, behind you, a small blackbird just lets out a while looking at you. Tilts its head slightly.
I'm just gonna ignore the bird and open up the window and climb in.
Okay. There are spades, shovels, a couple of picks, a few hoes.
Not the fun kind.
Not the fun kind. The kind that would suffer the poll tax.
Yeah, I think I'll take a shovel. Just as long as it looks in good condition.
Okay. Okay, you want a good shovel. Not here for any old shovel. Right, make a quick evaluate roll for me then to see how good your shovel is.
Alright.
Do you have evaluate? No.
I think well... Is that one of the...
It's an advanced skill. No, sorry. You can't tell us. Just roll me 1d10.
Okay. Is that the little dice thing here?
You just click /roll space 1d10 one word. Or just roll a d100, but either way. Okay. You have a shovel.
Alright. Yes, I will glance out the window, and if the coast is clear, hop out with a shovel.
From your rolls, we'll carry them forward, but yes, you are out and about with a shovel. You spot Lazarus scurrying around in between the graves, searching for plants that interest him. I'd say by this time, Lazarus, you've got your 2, given that a roll takes a couple of hours. There are a few mourners that you pass, so I will assume... Can you roll me an intuition roll, Lazarus?
Yes, sir.
Challenging. Actually, I'll give you a bonus if you've already clicked it, but average.
Average. Oof.
Okay.
Nope.
For a roll like that. Okay. So as you go to search for one of the plants that's growing out of the grave, a cane comes out of nowhere and swipes at you, missing ever so slightly, as it appears you're trying to pick roots off of the grave of the people they're mourning at. I mean, year old 97.
Right.
In front of you is a big burly man who hasn't said a word and is just looking at you, raising his cane up to swipe again. What would you like to do?
I'm cleaning the grave, sir. Don't hit me. These roots aren't needed.
Roll a challenging charm test.
It's not a bad comeback, though.
It's a good comeback if it works.
Oh.
You got a +1. Yeah, he's an average schmuck, so you get a grunt, and he walks away.
Oh boy. Well, continue about my work.
Okay. Meanwhile, Jerabadiah.
Yeah. Does Yodicus appear to be doing anything right now? Because based on all the winks and nudges.
Oh no, I'm with the mercenaries. So I don't even know if I'm actually in this scene because I have to go tell them what to do.
Okay.
You're off camera right now, but
Yeah.
sure. What are you up to?
Me personally, I'm up to dealing with the mercenaries. So
Just dealing with them. Okay.
What I'm doing is paying them and telling them where they need to set up.
Okay. Well, we'll come
I
to
can do a leadership role or whatever.
We'll come to you and Lothar in a moment after we wrap
where
up
Lothar's at.
Jerabadiah trying to piss off more. So Jerabadiah, how many sim points do you want? What are you up to? You don't get sim points, or do you?
Trying to think. And did Yodicus indicate how long he was anticipating being gone or anything?
Probably not explicitly, no, because it's going to depend on, how much arguing needs to happen to get them to do what I want.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, given the situation, Jebediah does want to try to get those weapons, and he is sometimes kind of ballsy, but he's not going to try this without some kind of a significant distraction. So if that thing with Lazarus had gone badly, he might have tried then. But for now, I think he's just going to set the shovel against one of the edges of the building on one of the far sides of it.
Okay.
Kind of out of sight. And just kind of act casual, just see if Yodicus shows up at any point. And if not, he may give up on it.
Okay, you're going to wait for an opening. I mean, roll an average perception. Just while Lazarus is hunting around, you can sloop up against a wall and wait to see if you think there's a convenient opportunity.
Sure. Average.
Okay. I'll say you spot a grave or two that are in the corner and more secluded by shrubbery.
All right, then. I will head behind the shrubbery and see about not grave robbing, but exhuming some weapons.
Not grave robbing, right, okay.
What are we doing? Not grave robbing.
And is that something I could use? Like, I don't know if it would apply. I have, is it urban stealth, I think, or something?
Yeah, if you've got urban stealth, let's have a challenging urban stealth roll.
Challenging. Here we go.
It's only because you're shoveling quietly.
Let's go with fortune.
That doesn't necessarily on its own mean someone hears you, because I'm going to roll a sort of a difficult perception roll. We're probably looking at like a -2 for them, or a. I mean, with your roll, you're making a bit of noise. I mean, you are digging up a corpse.
Yeah, I'll do the fortune.
To get to its weapons, admittedly.
Yes. Oof. Well.
Okay. So, we'll come back to you in a moment, Mr.
Wow.
Awesome.
Well,
Meanwhile, in other parts of the town, we'll just go to... Don't worry, you don't have tokens. I'm aware. Now you do. Lazarus, you're not here. Jerabadiah, you're not here. Lothar, Yodicus, you have with you a lot of guards and a lot of mercs. all stood in front, waiting for their orders.
So, giving them the orders would be a leadership, I would assume?
Yes. Hydra,
LJ?
however, will need to know what the orders are.
The idea here would be to have our mercenaries hold the higher points on the walls, the guardsmen from the town, and then to look at the breach points and have those held by the mercenaries.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Okay. That could certainly be. And Lothar, are you... Do you have any specific ideas yourself, or any particular...
The guard have been around town for a bit longer than us, haven't they?
Yes.
So, I'm going to hope that they've asked, how many gates there are any of them locked, are they lockable, things like that.
Yeah.
And so that we can barricade those and set up kind of pitfalls in front of the walls in the direction that we've just come from. So try and reduce how many are going to hit the walls at once.
Okay. Yeah, your guard have been here for some time before you, so you do get a rundown as to... There's 3 major gates. One gatehouse is out of operation and has already been barricaded, which leads to the southwestern woods, because that's where the dead came from last time, and they had kind of walked in because they had assumed that they were living. Turns out they weren't, and then attacking and dead things. The rest of the town is pretty much a straightforward wall that is roughly of slightly lower than head height. So if you stood on a box, you can kind of see over it quite comfortably. But that's the best that they could do. It is stone, and for the most part it's intact. There are a couple bits that are shoddy.
So in light of the wall being that damn short, I'm going to say put stakes against the wall to try and keep enemies back away from the wall, and then put the pitfalls out further from that.
Want them to start digging. Okay.
Yeah, basically lots of defensive structures.
Okay.
As well as probably closing the other gates. How far away are we from where we saw them? Is it a couple of days' travel, or... I mean, we can't be that far ahead if they were moving.
Yeah, exactly. It probably took you 2 days to get here by cart, so...
Yeah.
You would think, at most you have somewhere between now and a day, depending on the speed of the dead.
Well, they can go all through the night as well. They don't need to rest, do they?
Yes.
So, in that case... Oh, Bonbon. Set all of my guard on sorting out those defences I was saying about, and ask Heinrich if he can get his guards to barricade the other entrance as well, so that I don't have to send the troops I need away to do that.
Okay. Okay. Gentlemen, you can make your rolls.
Leadership, I guess you want.
Yes.
Would this be challenging, average?
I would say for Lothar, average. He's ordering his own troops.
Yep.
For Eurycus, you have bought these individuals, but they are defending themselves. You paid well. You paid them up front. Yeah. I don't know if that makes it any easier or not.
Yeah, I know. As I'm trying to think, it's like more likely to desert.
Yeah. Wait.
Challenging.
Well, let's say challenging. But I have faith in you.
Well, you shouldn't.
I should have had more faith. More faith?
There you go.
More faith. Faith was rightly put. Okay. Eurycus, you do notice a little bit of a nerve with some of them. Once they hear the scale of the amount of dead that are coming, look at their surroundings. It's maybe not the ideal, easy fight that some of them were expecting, just cutting down a few walking corpses. This seems somewhat more concerning to them. Lothar, your men trust you, and although there is some hesitation, orders are all carried out between both parties. Wunderbar. However, your guard do need a lot of shovels.
Sir, we did not carry any shovels with us.
They don't have e-tools? Come on.
E-tools.
We're not dwarves. It's punching tools is what he's saying.
Do I have your permission, sir, to commandeer some? Or perhaps we could go to the Garden of Moor, sir, and find ourselves some shovels.
I'll have a quick chat with Heinrich and see if he can procure us any. I'd rather not annoy them by looting the shovels. So I'll have a quick chat with Heinrich, see if he can commandeer any, and if he can't, then I'll have to resort to
Okay.
sending them out.
Okay. Let's condense that to a charm roll. Average.
Right you are, sir. There are some of those, plenty of shovels over in the shed through the Garden of Moor.
Thank you very much. So,
Unfortunately,
I assume
the
we have
blacksmith had a collection of shovels, but they're now buried beneath rock.
that makes them remarkably hard to use.
Indeed. And we need shovels in order to retrieve those shovels.
Sounds like a problem for another day. Well, if you don't mind, I will send my men to commandeer whatever shovels they can from the garden then, and set to the defences.
Okay. We'll bounce back for a moment to the Garden of Moor, where halfway through digging you can hear the clanging of metal and the sound of boots marching toward you. Jerbada.
Alright, I'm just gonna keep digging. If they're coming right towards me, I guess I can like glance over my shoulder. Do I see people headed directly at me?
For the record, I'm not digging any graves.
Like, are people coming directly toward me, or are they like on a path that's gonna wrap around or something?
They go into the huts that you were in and proceed to basically cling, clang, clong.
Okay.
The place sounds like it's just being ransacked. And you can hear arguments inside bursting out of, "Is this a shovel? No, it's a hoe."
Do I recognize any of these voices? Like, do I know if there are people or?
I'll say you probably recognize them by apparel, so sure.
And they're with us?
Yes.
Yes.
You think so?
Okay. I'm just gonna keep digging.
We dig the whole day through.
Because they're creating a racket on their own.
Right. Jerbada. While digging, an old man approaches you.
No, no.
Oh no.
He's a priest.
Afternoon.
Hello, are you the new grave digger?
Who's asking?
It is I, Elzebub, the resident priest of Moor.
I see. Yes, that's correct, sir.
Oh.
Can you make me charm roll, please? Challenging. His intuition sucks, I'll give you that.
It's not my day.
You're a bad liar and he's deaf, so it balances out. But Lazarus
All right.
there doing other things. Yeah, he doesn't hear. You lie to him poorly, and he doesn't hear what you say.
Oh, yes. Well, okay. Well, yes. We're going to need some more, Doug. Not more, but more. Funny jokes.
You're funny son of a gun.
I was a lot funnier when I was young.
You're hilarious now.
We're going to need at least 3 more. Over there, here, and there.
You got it, boss.
Good. And see to it that they're deep.
Of course. Don't want them crawling up out of there, do we?
No. Won't have any of that. Not around here, not with my prayers. Right. Let's go do some praying.
Casually wanders
I'll
off.
be with you. I nod, and as soon as he's not looking anywhere, I'm wiping my brow, which is just drenched with sweat now. Not from the
Fair.
digging.
Fair. Okay. Do we have a dig roll? God knows what a dig roll is.
What would that be? Let's see. No, there's endurance.
I think we'll just go for athletics. We're just
Yeah, that
going
would
for
work.
physical perseverance.
All right. Would it be challenging or?
Yes, just as you're trying not to make too much noise.
Sure.
And a negative doesn't mean you don't dig. Okay. That just means that you're a sailor, not a digger. So it's just going to take you longer before you get somewhere.
Okay.
But hey. Meanwhile, we have the guard rushing off in various directions, carrying spades. Lazarus, you've got your second grave root by now, and your half as well. You're capped out on grave root. And you're pretty sure you've got everything you can from here. Anything else you would like to do, Lazarus?
I guess I can. Can I roll a perception to see if there's other people other than that priest that spotted Jebediah?
Sure. That spotted him, challenging perception. We're looking for small details here.
Ooh, I don't think.
I guess
so.
you could take your time, but still a fail. I'd be like, you'd be fairly sure that most people are paying more attention to all of the militia running around your town.
Okay, because I was gonna create a distraction, but I failed my perception, so I think everything's fine.
Okay. Yeah, you think like, okay, the town seems fairly distracted as is. Maybe. I will check in now with the various gentlemen of the group. Is there anything anyone would like to do in particular? Any specific goals or ambitions for the preparations, or are you just sort of letting things go on autopilot for a bit?
Yeah, just digging up weapons, collecting them, and doing my best not to get executed.
I'm going to mention to the to my guard and to Yodicus about the idea that there could be traitors on the inside the walls, so stay on alert, even on the inside as well. Maybe say to Yodicus about, is there anyone we could talk to like, do they have a watch around here or anything like that maybe we could ask if there's been any suspicious activity.
Yeah, that would lore local. I'm trying to think who I'd know who it is. I guess lore politics, maybe. I don't know. Part of it's just seeing if I know the right person for this. It's a good question, but lore politics, is it challenging maybe, or
Sure.
hard?
This is just to know the person that might know if there's anyone strange hanging about. Am I right?
Right. It's mostly,
Yeah.
do I know who to go to talk to about this?
Yeah. Do we know who's in charge of the watch or any kind of group like that?
Or the road wardens or whoever's local.
I would say I mean, a gossip would be a street level analysis of are people talking about this. A law, I mean, law, you wouldn't, law local. Do you have schema yet?
I do.
That's a maybe. You could maybe think about that. Politics could be used, though.
I'll use my schemer on this, though, because the idea of a bunch of people working with the undead sorcerer would definitely appeal to my paranoia. I could try using schemer on this.
And schemer in particular, I'm going to have to bring up the actual
You kind of hide the roll from me, so I don't know how I do.
Intelligence test. Okay, how intelligent are you? Okay, 41. Okay.
I'm not dumb.
Blind GM. Okay, I clicked roll. Nothing happened. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll do that again. That was a dummy run. Okay, that did nothing too.
I'll never. Oh dear.
How about if I just roll a D100?
Yeah, I just do a blind. You know what my skill level is.
None of my rolls are doing anything. Oh no, I just couldn't see them on the other screen because I was rolling them to GM and I'm selecting camera. So I'm going to go with your original roll because I had already rolled it and it was secret. Okay, you do have a little bit of an inkling that there is someone who is said to be the nosiest busybody of the town, who is typically always reporting people for strange activities and has got himself into trouble once or twice for reporting a little bit too much, but is particularly paranoid, and you think, well, if anyone is going to be paying attention, it would be him.
All right, let's go talk to Alex Jones.
There is a Ahoy.
There
Would
he
it
is.
be a charm test? Oh yeah, it is Alex Jones.
Depends how you approach the matter, but it could be.
Oh, I think I'm gonna approach it with a charm.
Okay. I will say he recognizes you.
Good afternoon, sir. Hello.
See how I approach this. Okay, so I'm not completely tripping over myself. Good afternoon, Mr. Jones. Just the man I was looking to speak with. May I borrow a moment of your time?
Certainly. Have you seen all of the youngsters around here? Some of them have been carrying knives as of recently.
Oh, do tell. What's been going on with the youngsters?
Well, some of them, because of the things becoming more dangerous, have taken to carrying knives. I keep telling them they're only 6 years old. They shouldn't be carrying them yet, but they keep insisting on doing it anyway.
Well, you say things have been more dangerous. Is it above and beyond the usual troubles? What has increased the danger?
The danger would be the danger that appeared last week.
Let me ask, because I know that you would be the one who would know. Have we had any issues with pirates or any other kind of unsavory types taking advantage of the dead?
Pirates, no pirates here in a long time. I think we haven't seen them for a few months. We've had strangers come to town as well.
Oh, do tell.
Yes, all sorts of strangers. There was a trader 3 days ago, sold some awful leather. There, a few servants had arrived, cast out from another town. They're currently working within the tower. I believe...
Servants, you say? From which barony, may I ask?
Well, I don't know. I didn't ask. I don't like to mix with them.
Well, they are strange.
Strange indeed. There is also the mercenaries. I don't know if you've seen them. I think one's Tillian.
Oh, yes. I actually was aware of the mercenaries, believe it or not. And although they are indeed strange, they're mostly here to keep us from being eaten by the dead.
Right. Well, I'm not sure as I trust them personally. There's also a new gravedigger.
Ah, yes, a new gravedigger. I look at Jebediah. Wonder who that could be.
I just am.
I was like, Jebediah's still off digging it right now, so.
Oh, he's still digging. Okay, he's on
I'm sorry, Jebediah. You've got like one spear right now.
Do tell.
I was walking through the graveyard and I saw a man digging. And the last one died during the attack and nobody else wanted to go near the graves.
Oh, is there a problem with people digging graves?
Well, only that we were attacked by the dead. It would seem prudent to avoid the graves. That's where the dead things are.
One would assume that would be prudent. However, I guess there are all manner of desperate men needing to make a living now, aren't there?
Well, that's right, I suppose. Perhaps better a gravedigger than a cobbler.
Indeed, shoes are such frightfully terrifying things, you know.
I know, I need some more. Do tell me if you find a good cobbler.
I will pass that along. So no other potentially shifty types have come into town other than those servants at the tower?
Well, there is Mary.
Oh?
She's gained a lot of weight recently, you know.
Well, that would be difficult given our present circumstances and the nature of gathering food.
Indeed, I think she's a devil worshipper.
Oh, do say. Why?
Well, she's fat.
Well, I suppose you can't trust someone who eats too much, but...
Well, she can't afford to eat, and she's gaining weight, so most likely a devil worshipper.
I make a note of this.
I'm looking forward to informing the witch hunters.
Well, I suppose that I'll leave that in your very capable hands. Thank you, Mr. Jones.
Oh, you're very welcome. Also, the gentlemen you arrived with, they're not going to rob me, are they?
Well, I suppose as long as you steer clear of them, the risk will be minimal.
Oh my.
Besides, who knows? The dead may eat them.
Do the dead eat people?
At times, sir. At times.
Oh, that's awful.
Now, thank you. Thank you so much for your time, Mr. Jones. I'll take all that under advisement. I wonder whose barony collapsed that they came here from. Might be worth making an inquiry at the tower.
I'm more interested in who the gravedigger is, considering the threat we face.
Well, obviously he's some fool that can't do or find another thing better for himself to do.
Or it's remarkably convenient that they happen to get a new one as soon as they need it, when there's an undead force heading this way.
Yeah, perhaps he is a suspicious sort. We'll have to find out. But I am curious because the thing about the servants... One person is dangerous, yes, but one person probably won't be able to pull off a stunt capable of compromising the town. A group of people, however. We can look into the gravedigger on the way through, but I think perhaps it'd be worth seeing exactly who is availing themselves of the Baroness Sindlung.
Indeed, and I agree. However, I would also say that, given the current situation, a gravedigger could also be renamed to a recruiter.
Good point. Perhaps I will take on the difficult task of speaking with the servants of the Baroness, and you can look into our friendly neighborhood gravedigger.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
All right. I'm gonna toss a coin to see who goes first. 1DC. I don't know. Comet is Graves.
Okay, it's
Baroness.
Yoda goes first.
The Baroness's household first. I think the
Yoink.
game is paused.
How about now?
Oh, there we go. Great. It's perfect.
Oh, so I had
Can
to
be annoying.
pause and unpause it. For the sake of everything being
Not breaking.
easier to see, let's move you over to this, and let's stick the other two. Where the hell are we? There we go. You guys can hide in the corner. Dance time. Right. Okay, well, you're dancing. Knock on the door. Servant welcomes you in. She's upstairs. 4th floor.
Indeed.
Of the tower.
Thank you so much. May I ask? I'm gonna try to be charming here. Let's see what happens. It's challenging.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Could you perhaps tell me? I wanted to ask if perhaps there had been more additions to the staff household as of late.
2 new servants, sir. Joined us. They reported to be from the Yettenberg, sir.
Yettenberg, really?
No longer needed there.
No longer needed. Were they discharged by the Baron?
I believe so, sir.
Might wish to look into the background a little bit. You never know. People can be discharged for the most unsavory of reasons.
Eyes prick up.
Oh. Yes, sir.
But I wouldn't want to be licentious or spreading rumors. Just one man's caution, a servant's caution to another servant.
Licentious. Yes,
Indeed.
Sir. Yes, sir.
And so much. Thank you for your time. I will hopefully not take much of the Baroness's.
Mind the 15th step, sir. It's awfully slippery.
My thanks.
Okay. You have like 4 flights of stairs to go up now.
Is there something weird about the 15th step?
Yeah. Baker, quick. Average. Yeah, average perception.
Oh, gosh.
Do we need to change
Don't
scene?
mind.
3 degrees off.
All right. Perception.
Yes, it has a tinge to it. You look down at the floor. Looks oily and greasy. Putting your finger to it. Someone's dropped butter on it.
That's bizarre. Good to know. Step over it.
It's very slippery. You step over it and continue up a very windy set of stairs to the top of a tower. Where, with a door open, there is a particularly smug-looking lady sat with her nails being filed by a servant. Come in, my darling.
Baroness, so very good to see you again.
Good to see you, darling.
Sweep the hat off. Do the bow.
I hear you're getting on well with my friend, darling.
Well, we... how can I say this? I have been very fortunate as of late. I thank the gods for their providence.
Speaks highly of you, darling.
Many thanks. Such a compliment warms my heart. So, Baroness, we have had warning of a potential issue headed this way, and we, of course, wish to offer our assistance. Lord Sighard authorized us to come to you in aid, and as such, we were happy to do so given the somewhat unsavory nature of the threat in question. I eyeball the servant.
Happy to receive some help, darling. You can make a free intuition if you like for Quasimodo there.
Be challenging or average?
Challenging.
Nah, I can't read him.
Seems a nice guy. It's probably misunderstood.
Or I'm just a paranoid and think that he's a terrible person, even though I have zero evidence.
So you come to save the princess in the castle, darling. What a cliche.
Well, perhaps keep them from, how shall I say this? Very rudely press-ganging the remainder of your town for whatever nefarious ends they wish to put them to. It would be terribly horrible if they were to take away your just and righteous rule over the people of this town.
This wibbling tower is giving me... Oh god, it's making me trippy. Anyway.
It is a bit of an odd, optical.
Okay, I'm just going to zoom in for the viewers too, so they can... Oh god, lord. Okay. Yes, darling. That is appreciated, darling. But I think with your assistance, we'll be more than capable of taking care of ourselves, won't we, darling?
Well, it's my job to ensure that we are. Thank you so much for your patience and forbearance in these matters. We understand that it is delightfully, perhaps a better way of saying it, it is unfortunately crass, the things that one has to deal with in a position such as yours. And I understand that it can be taxing and no small amount of frustration when the rightful passage of things is interrupted by such pedestrian problems as The Walking Dead.
Indeed, darling. Do tell me, will you be defending the walls? Or defending the tower, darling?
Consider my position. I kind of look at Quasimodo. I look at Quasimodo really hard. Well, I would say this, madam. We have several plans in place to address both potentialities. But of course, you know that your personage is held in the highest regard by myself and by Lord Sighart. We would be very upset if anything were to trouble you overmuch.
A girl does like to be protected, darling. Wonderful. Well, make yourself at home. Quasi, get the man a drink.
Yes, mistress.
What would I use to evaluate a drink for poison? Geez, would that be perception? I'm not even certain.
Yeah, perception, because you're effectively opposing any sleight of hand. I'm going to roll a dice just to make you paranoid.
This is just what he does.
Okay. Oh, I'm still rolling to camera. Haha. I rolled a thing. You can't see it. Ha 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 ha. Anyway. Okay. No, it seems fine. He goes and gets a drink
Probably
and gives it to her.
not going to kill me. Gotcha.
Yeah, gets a jug, pours you a drink, tops up her drink. Looks like a wine. Maybe plum. Plum wine.
I'll take a very polite sip.
Family recipe, darling. Hope you like it.
Is it good?
Only the best, darling. We run out of voices, so we return to Edna Mole. Now,
I feel like Edna Mole might not be a bad pick for her, actually.
yeah, it just depends if she's actually like 4'2", which in canon she now is.
So she really is that short.
So as she stands up in front of you, Yodicus, yeah, she is like 4'2".
I'm a great deal taller than her.
Yeah. Okay, so in the distance we have. Let's go over to our grave hunter.
I didn't precipitate a diplomatic incident. Yes.
That's my job.
Okay,
Correct.
we need to go over to Boar. Okay, Yodicus, you can hide. Jebda. Both are some guard. Guards are off busy doing stuff right now, I assume. So they can vamoose. Okay.
Yep.
Lothar, you step into the garden, and you're greeted by an old man.
Hello, yes. Would you like a blessing?
It can never hurt.
By the powers invested in more, and the fathers, and the sons, and the Holy Spirits, and such, be better.
and gives you a little tap. Let's just roll to see if anything bad happens. Yeah, you're
Get
fine.
smited by this.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine.
Well, I hope you enjoy your stay in the Garden of Moor. Please be respectful and do not tread on the grass. And don't feed the birds. Please.
Yes, there's rather a lot of them.
Yes, they watch over us. Moor is always watching, after all.
I hear tell that you've had a new gravedigger.
Oh, yes, yeah, lovely chap. Strong beard and jaw. He just recruited him about 20 minutes ago.
20 minutes ago, you say?
Yes, old man. I say that, no, young man, really, in the comparatively. Yes, you'll find him over the back digging. He's currently digging his third grave.
Well, thank you for your help.
Can only assume we're expecting some dead soon. But he's rather eager, which is good. The last gravedigger was dead, so it's nice to have a living one for a change.
It'd certainly be more efficient.
Very much so. Well, more be with you.
And with you.
He facepalms himself.
I didn't bless him. Oh, heavens, how rude of me. Let me come with you. I'll introduce you to him.
Lead the way, then.
Lothar? You're led over to Jebediah, who is digging with an old man, taking you by the hand and using you partially for balance. Here we go. I didn't catch his name. I like to call him Doug.
Oh, hey there. Hello there, sirs. How's it going?
Very well. This young man has come to see the Temple of Moor, and I realized I hadn't offered you a blessing, so would you kneel, please?
Certainly.
Can't have a gravedigger without a blessing.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not about to argue with a man, so I take a knee. Oh,
Anything
God, here
over
we
70, get fucked. Nope, you're fine.
Whew.
Okay, just saying. Just saying. You're reckoning the sin points there.
Well, it appears Moore's not particularly favouring us today. Perhaps he's busy in another garden. I'll go do some praying and such, but do feel free, Doug, to teach this young man. I like to call him Torley. And I'll be back soon. To keep up the good digging.
All right, thank you, sir. I'll talk to Tolly here, sir.
Old man leaves.
I wipe my brow again. Howdy, Lothar.
Doug, is it?
Apparently it is now.
Fantastic. So he thinks you're the new grave digger.
Apparently, I say over my shoulder as I continue digging, not wanting to lose time.
I'll say you're up to like 3 spears now, and a buckler.
You want to help out?
Oh, sure. This is the perfect time to offend more.
I'm glad you see it that way. Yeah, just feel free to take those spears, just kind of tug them off to the side over there, and make sure nobody spots them, and maybe you can help me carry them out when I'm done.
No.
There might be more shovels in that hut over there if you want.
There shouldn't be. I sent my men here to pick them up.
Oh, is that what that ruckus was then?
Yeah. I told them to be careful.
Oh, they were all kinds of noisy. But I thought it was something Yodicus might have set up to give me a little bit of cover for my sneaky little operation to save our sorry hides.
No, that was probably the only good fortune we're gonna have. I don't suppose you've seen the real grave digger around, have you?
Nope. I heard there at, I think, The need, he's probably dead, I reckon, but who knows?
Well, I heard that the last one died, but there was a new one started up, and that seems remarkably suspicious timing for what we know is coming this way. And unfortunately, the old coot seems to think that you're the gravedigger, so now I have a lead.
Well, that certainly suits my needs just fine. Gives me a reason to be here if he's telling folks that.
In the distance, Lothar, breaking the silence as Lazarus steps towards you. Apologies, Lazarus.
Oh, that's fine.
There is sound of a horn blowing.
Brr.
Pretty much exactly that noise. Brrr. It is the sound of an alarm. A familiar sound, Lothar. It's one of your men sounding.
Shit, does that mean they found me?
Something bad this way
I quickly
comes.
drop the shovel.
And on that note, we'll take a couple of minute bio before our final stretch and allow our grave diggers to get a beer. See you in a mo. Let's go, gentlemen. Do we have everyone? Yeah, sure. We've got everyone.
Grim's here.
Hello, gentlemen. Hello, viewers. Hello, players. Right.
Yep.
In the background, horns have been sounded, Lothar. Jebediah's currently been digging away. You're currently getting through your third or fourth grave by now, Jebediah.
Yep, just stacking up spears.
And your concentration is broken. Lazarus, you two hear it? It's the sound of
Shit.
danger.
Oh
You don't
no!
think that's me they're on to, do you?
Nope, this is bigger problems than you.
It's a good news, bad news sort of thing then.
No, just bad news. Before I go, did you see any other graves disturbed in here other than the ones that you're...
No, these are the only ones I spotted offhand. I mean, you're welcome to take a look.
I haven't got time, unfortunately. Keep an eye out, just in case the other grave digger that supposedly joined was actually recruiting.
You don't, you think you need me there, or you want me to stay here and keep digging, or what?
Entirely up to you. If you fear for your life fighting the undead, carry on getting those spears for the mercenaries.
I'll see I can get one more for y'all.
Okay.
You want to take the ones that I dug up so far with you?
No thanks. And I'm going to run off.
All right, then.
Jebediah with his weapon stock. Fair enough. Lazarus, what are you up to while Jebediah is currently digging out what potentially could be a very nice weapon, but it's a little out of reach right now. Maybe it's a suit of armor. Who knows?
I'm going to give Jebediah some grave root. I'm going to tell him you got to apply it on your weapon, and it'll poison undead things that you hit with it.
Oh, hell. All right, then.
And then I'm going to join Lothar.
Yeah, I'll promptly apply that to my boat hook. Is there anything I need to click on for that?
No, you'd smush some over your boat hook and sheath it and hope for the best. Yodicus, while inside the tower, you too hear the sound of horns.
Well, excuse me, madam. I believe they're playing my song. I'll have to go see to things.
She holds up her 2 fingers on each hand. Bang, bang, darling.
You know me well.
I look forward to seeing you later.
Indeed. I'll settle my hat and walk on down the stairs.
Okay.
Well, probably at something of a relatively quick walk, but mind the step.
Rushing off to greet your troops, Lothar. Meeting with Lazarus and Yodicus in one of the more central locations within the town. You are also surrounded by your guard, looking over the walls at various angles. And you can hear a few gasps.
Is there kind of boxes near the wall that you can stand on to see over?
Yeah, most of the guard are stood on them, and some of them are exchanging a few words. Oh my. Oh my, oh my, oh my.
I'm just going to grab one out the way and jump up on the box to see what's going on.
Average perception for me, please. And over to you, Lazarus.
Yodicus, do you want some grave root for your weapon?
Give it to men with better, how would I say, hand-to-hand equipment. I prefer to engage from a bit of a range.
Alright, well then, I'm going to apply the grave root to my bow, and I had one left over, so I'm going to give it to whoever's in charge of our guard.
Lazarus.
You mean Lothar?
Or Lothar, excuse me, I said Lazarus. I'm thinking out loud.
Well, does Lothar want grave root?
No.
Okay, then I'm just giving it to a guard.
Yeah.
One of our guards.
Whoever looks the heaviest armed.
Generic guard.
Guy with the biggest sword.
Sure.
Hey, it's the unnamed ones that do the best. So
Typically, yes. Although, doink.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I always enjoyed a bit of grapefruit in the evening. Thank you very much.
Right, Lothar, you can see off in the distance an amount of figures stepping outside from the forest, but a quantity very difficult to count. Somewhere between 50 and 500.
the tree line's moving.
You cannot be certain. Yeah, it is dark, and right now, with a combination of the mist pouring out from the woods, it is difficult to put a number on this. They're maybe only 100 yards from the edge of town, but curiously, they do not seem to be approaching any closer.
What's the state of the defences? Did they get anywhere with them, or is not much time passed?
I would say a few hours had, and with the assistance of some villagers, you guys rolled pretty reasonably. A few of the locals, combined with the guards, you have like a 3-foot trench that's been dug very quickly in some of the softer soil that, I mean, sure, a living person would jump over it, but you would be hopeful that at least the shambling dead would probably stumble, perhaps giving you an opportunity to stab them. And a few wooden spikes have been battered in here and there as well, for good measure.
Okay.
And the wall has also been reinforced. So, your men have been productive in the hours that you've been here. Now, it seems to be a standstill. As of current, the shapes are not moving any closer.
Look over at Lothar. So, what are they doing?
Nothing. Currently, which is all kinds of worrying.
Wonder if they're waiting for something.
That's what I'm worried about. What could they be waiting for? Also, there's a lot more there than we saw at the camp.
Public. Ooh. Public. This is just your guard's perception roll.
Mine.
Not bad.
Sir, I think I've counted about 250 of them, sir. With some dark figures stood within them. They seem to be stood waiting, sir.
Dark figures, you say?
Yes, cloaked figures, sir. They seem to be coming from 3 separate directions.
3? Which are the walls?
The kind
Are
of
we
like
surrounded?
points, if I bring up my map, so like south, southeast and southwest, let's just say.
They seem to be formed in 3 groups, sir. Some down from the mountains, some from the woods, and some along the road, sir.
Out of character, the ones on the road are the ones that we would have seen,
Yeah.
roughly.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's 2 other groups come from a different direction that wasn't
Yeah,
us.
pretty much. It seems that's not the only group that has arrived here. Some have come from other directions.
We may need to evacuate.
Take another guard and check the other walls. Make sure that we're not being completely surrounded. In case we have to flee.
Roger what, sir? Left, right, left, right.
Runs off into the distance. You'll expect to hear from him very soon. I think we need a change of music for something. Yeah, we haven't had this one in a while.
what, medieval coffee dance?
Yeah, no. Although I have that on a hotkey. No, that's mob. Medieval coffee. Oh no, that's number 4.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got it there somewhere. I just want to turn off market default. There we go. That's better. Meanwhile, over in the Garden of Moor, there is some digging that is going on. Jebediah! As you were digging, you notice some of the dirt start to shift. Not it within the grave, but all around you, and the pile that you've been, or the large mounds you've been making, the earth starts to gradually almost sort of shimmer off of the edges, collapsing down very slowly. You can feel a humming from beneath your feet.
My eyes are saucers at this point. I drop my shovel. I'm going to see about grabbing up the weapons I've gathered so far and making way out of this garden.
Okay. Make me a average athletics, please, to be as fast as you possibly can.
Average. Finally.
That is very quick. which is good. You gather up all of the weapons you have currently dug out of the ground. You have exhumed, and making your way hastily past the statue, you feel an escalation of this rumble. Just as your footsteps pass the statue, you hear a loud thunderous crack. Looking at where it came from, the statue has a large split.
Oh, hell.
Directly up the
sorry,
center.
Moore. It wasn't me.
And I will ask you who are right there, Jebediah, as the shrine to Moore begins to split and topple in front of you. What are you doing?
Is there a way I can go around it, possibly?
Are you leaving, or...?
I am trying to leave if I can, rejoin the others. I want to get these weapons to anybody who needs them.
You can move very briskly. Roll me an average perception, please. Okay. Good. A shallow grave that's recently, more so at least, been dug. As you move past, you notice the dirt being disturbed. And though you have time to react and move aside, a hand reaches out toward you.
I would like to avoid that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Understandably. And I will allow you to run off into the sunset if you like.
Yeah, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Okay. So Jebediah will be joining the rest of our group in just a moment. I will say to the rest of our patriots, there has been a grumble in the ground, something difficult to define for the past 20 seconds or so. A few of the guard look confused at each other, a few of the mercenaries equally. One of them exclaiming, "That's the foul magic at play."
Maybe this is what they were waiting for.
Aye. Most of them have drawn sword by now and are looking over the walls toward what may be headed their way. So,
Yeah, people of the town are all in the houses, or have they all retreated back to a more central location?
mostly within the centre of town by now. few of the local warden will have been ushering people towards safer locations, at least away from the town's periphery. There's perhaps some 10 to 15 villagers who are willing to fight, mostly frail-looking men.
Sir, excuse me.
Rushing down to join Jodocus, Lazarus and Lothar, one of the guard, just as Jebediah arrives.
Yes.
They are moving, sire.
Yeah, no kidding, they're moving. I look back over my shoulder, pointing. The Garden of Moor, it's not exactly a garden right now, so much as I don't know what you call it, but it ain't. Don't go there. Let's just say.
Has it been compromised?
Very much so.
I look over at Lothar and Lazarus. Looks like we figured out what they were waiting for.
And I am just kind of jabbing the spears into the ground, with the butt of them, and saying, "Gather around, anybody who needs a bit of an upgrade to your weaponry." I motion to the.
Okay. There are a few hovering around. Mostly have been helping others to move, but a few mercenaries step out and gladly.
Gentlemen, time to earn your pay. I'm going to motion to the mercenaries. Look at my mercenaries. Gesture to the gate. And then I'm going to take whoever appears to be left and I'm going to lead them toward the open space at the Garden of Moor. And take out my rifle and pull the hammer back.
Yeah, I draw my boat hook and I look over to Jodocus and murmur, "Paid? When do we get paid?"
After everyone else, unfortunately.
That's a very good question, Jebediah. Okay, so Jodocus is heading over to the Garden of Moor. Who are you going with, other than your mercs that you've hired? Or who's going with you, I should say.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to take the mercenaries and probably Jebediah to make sure that we don't get overrun from behind. I don't know who else wants to help me with this, but...
Oh, I was talking to this guard that was saying they were moving. I just wondered how many of them are moving. I'm assuming he means the ones outside the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
all of them, sir.
Shit. Well, Jodocus, it looks like you're going to have to secure that. And if everything
Understood.
goes wrong, fall back to the center. We'll try and defend as many as we can.
Yes, keep your eye on the tower as well. We wouldn't want that getting compromised. Goodness gracious. Sigurd would never let me live it down if I let the Baroness get eaten.
They might not let us live it down.
In front of you, Lothar, is a man who you can see is doing his best to be disciplined.
Sir,
Yes?
there are a lot of them, sir. What is the plan?
I think we're going to have to go with a fighting retreat. Pull back to the town square. Hold them off as best we can while we do. But don't don't try and be a martyr.
Right, sir. We'll buy you some time.
He barks some orders to a few of the others. Some of the now armed mercenaries step off as well. And Lazarus, where are you going?
Thinking we gotta protect our rear, so I'll go with Jebediah and Jodocus.
Jebediah. Okay. We'll go briefly over to the Garden of Moor. We'll do a single round here, just to before we reflect back on what's going on elsewhere. Excuse me, where are zombies? Do 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 do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sure. Let's. I have to delete all these blackbirds now, or they'll be in the initiative order and fuck everything up. Okay. Lothar, you get to pray for your buddies for a moment. We'll come to you in a moment as to what you're up to during this.
Let's I think they're already in enough trouble. They don't need me praying as well.
That is very true. Okay. We have a mercenary to go first. The mercenaries will all roll at once at the end of this. So, Jebediah, you're up first. Okay. You step inside the garden. There are perhaps 15 corpses now, in total. Stood, some armed, some not, as you took their weapons.
Oh, hell. First day on the job, and look what I got. Is the shrub-looking thing on my right, would that block my movement?
Sure.
Okay. I guess I'll just move up and attack. I guess I'll do a charge onto that frontmost. Frontmost fellow here, I suppose.
All right, charge on in. Give him a swing.
Okay.
Let's have it. You get your charging bonus. You can tick that chargey box.
There is combat.
Click
Sorry,
on
I've never
that
used
boat
my
hook.
actual weapon before.
Oh wow, yeah, fair play. Fair
Yeah, I
play.
was gonna say you've mostly punched people.
Yeah. Do I do anything for the grave root that I put on it?
Yeah, just yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Fluff. He's a challenging character.
It's so fluff here. Yeah.
All right.
Always challenging. A decent roll. Let's see how the zombie does in response. Not particularly well. And there may be a clean... Yeah, okay. You might even get 2 with this one. So you're going to charge in, cleave one's arm clean off. You'll be up to 2 advantage now because you charged and just whacked and killed one. You can attack the guy next to him for free.
Yeah, I don't even think I clicked charging on it when I did it, but okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. Combat. And
Don't forget to target.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Don't forget to target the token.
Yes. Oof.
God
Or
dang.
you could just roll exceptionally well. Yeah.
That's another one.
That's another one.
Okay, well, that's that.
Goodness.
That's 2 of them just instantly cleaved through.
Right. Take that, you undead bastards.
Yodicus, you've just seen Jebediah charge him with a boat hook, cleave an arm clean off, and then land one in the central chest, ripping out a heart of another one. These things are falling apart quite easy. They at least are quite decayed.
Well, he looks like he hates them almost as much as he hates his wife. I'll take my blunderbuss and aim it at the center zombie, attempting to maybe capture at more than one in the spread if I can, and cover the opposite flank where he's clearly having an easy time of it. And I'm going to let him cast shotgun.
Okay, cast shotgun.
Range or what would our modifier be on that? I don't know what our relative
Average.
ranges are. Average. So
It's not a very long range gun, but they're also not that far away.
I'm just trying to get the range modifiers right. And I'm going to let him have it.
It's not bad. That's not bad. 18 damage. I mean, that will be... Given that 19 damage took out 2, and you've also got damage... Yeah, that'll be a couple of them taken out. Okay.
The casting shotgun, much like in a Tarantino movie, works pretty well.
Yeah, and I will say with an epic bang, and a lot of powder and smoke, 2 of the corpses fling and fly backwards, landing on the ground shredded to pieces. Their flesh struggling to right itself once again. What with there being so many holes in it now? Lazarus, you're up.
I'm going to target this closest zombie.
Zombie.
And I'm going to shoot him with my bow. Oh, I gotta equip it. How do I do that? Trappings. Longbow. Equip. Combat. Longbow. Roll. Please hit.
That'll do. That's a hit. Oh, that is barely a hit. But it's still a hit. Doing. Yeah, and he is poisoned as well. That may well finish him off, actually. So, yeah, you land an arrow square into the central mass of this creature. It clearly pierces through some leather armor they were probably buried in, and it stumbles forward a few more feet, or yard, as our measurement system is for this universe, before contemplating charging you. But ultimately collapsing frontwards and perishing. Right. Now, 3 of you will be attacked, and there are 3 of you. We'll roll the mercs at the end just to see how many they clear off, but we're just going to have a swipe at each of you. Firstly, Jebediah.
Mm-hmm.
One hand weapon against your... Yeah, never mind. I mean, just don't roll -7.
-7. It's challenging, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Dang.
Okay, yeah. Jebediah, this is easy. This is easy. You've spent so many years dodging hits from your wife that this is easy. Lazarus, let's see how you fare. You do have one advantage, so we'll factor that in. Okay, zombies suck, so roll in response, dear sir. I'll add you one advantage. Yep. See how you fare.
Challenging?
Yep.
Oof.
It's bad, but it's still enough. And lastly, Yodicus. I imagine your swarm of mercs will likely just swamp them.
Alright.
So you have a -1 to beat.
Alright, I've got my advantage already calculated in there.
Nice. A successful dodge out the way. And we'll roll collectively for the mercs. I'll just roll a few dice. Realistically, without numbering bonuses, another couple of those zombies will be taken out. By the time we come back here, we'll be starting afresh. However, gentlemen, around you, that was not all of the dead that were here. There are a mixture of corpses that are climbing out the ground. Can you all roll me a challenging perception, please, just to try and do some quick maths? Jebediah, you can make it average because you're very good at maths.
Okay.
Actually, Jebediah, you can make it easy because you can add the tan and the sin and the cos, triangulate the perpendicular, and come up with a pretty good estimate.
Yep.
So
Don't get the hypotenuse.
Okay.
113.
Yeah, there's 113. Yeah. Okay. Yodicus,
Lord.
you see things
Smoke.
coming at... Yes, smoke. You see, smell, hear, feel, taste, and experience smoke all simultaneously. Lazarus, you can note at least another... Please roll me 2d10.
Last roll. to the
11 zombies immediately around you, coming out of the ground as we speak. Jebediah, in a moment of clarity with your SL of +8, despite pissing more off royally, you still, instead of counting the bodies climbing out the ground, realise you'd already subconsciously counted the tombstones in here while you were digging and walking around. And a figure comes to you of 3d10, please.
Okay.
Lots of ones, lots of ones.
No.
Yeah, but could have
Okay.
been worse.
Hmm.
Sort of normal.
And yeah, I mean that kind of the maths makes sense. Okay, you're going to have another 11 to deal with. You've dealt with the first few. Maybe you're just hoping that these graves only have one occupant, which is not always the case. Sometimes a tombstone is for a family. At least when you're poor. Meanwhile, while we contemplate on that, we're going to go over to Lothar, who is on his Todd right now, trying to manage a battle with his friends all fecking off to a garden centre. Lothar.
Yeah. I'm going to say that I'm still stood at the wall, so do you want a perception test to see
Yeah.
if they're getting closer, or is it obvious that they're now all...
Some details will be obvious, so yes, they're all approaching. Yes, you can roughly make out a couple of groups from where you are. One of the other guards rushes over just to remind you that there's a third group as well. The town's not exactly surrounded, but they're closing in, and let's say the opportunity for escape narrows as their formation widens as they get closer. That'll give you for free. Anything else you want to think or contemplate or...
what length of wall am I fighting over, or would be fighting over if I tried to hold it?
A convenient Gears of War style chest-high wall.
No, length of wall, sorry, like how...
It pretty much
'Cause I've got-
encircles the town. There are a couple of gates,
so
but
large.
it's pretty wide. Occasionally buildings are the boundary, so it doesn't circle the entire town, but there's a decent stretch of wall.
Have I heard back from the one that I sent off to the other wall?
You have now.
Just
Panting out of nowhere. Oh no, here he is. Left, right, left, right. Right, Lothar.
Right, what did you see?
Undid.
The north as well?
Wait, north.
The other way to where we are. We're surrounded.
Oh, no. Those were, individuals wearing, feathery cloaks,
Well, so, there's no one dead to the north.
They're carrying torches, though, sir.
Oh, that's nice of them. At least we can see them.
Not sure if friend or foe.
I'm going to go out on a limb and assume foe. How many of them are there? Did you notice, or did you run?
I counted about 20 torches, sir.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to say, because I'm guessing all the others are within shouting distance. I'm guessing we're not spread all around the perimeter of this town?
It's not a big town.
The gods.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A man bellowing out orders. And I will say there is an eerie silence about the town as people are kind of waiting to see what happens. The 100 yards that they're advancing on was announced just seconds ago, so you've probably got like a minute to a minute and a half before they would even be at the wall.
So that one that's knackered, the one that's just got back, this guy, I'm going to send a couple with him to just keep an eye on the guys in feathery cloaks. Report back. Don't try and hold the wall. Just report if they start moving as well. And then shout to the rest. Hold the wall as long as you can, but then fall back as soon as you start to get overwhelmed. We're not trying to hold the wall, we're just trying to slow them down. And if you have to fall back to the centre, town centre. We'll meet there.
Okay. Okay.
Assume that we're spread out with a bit of a gap between us.
Sure. Roll me a leadership test. Average, please, Lothar.
Yep. Oof. I'm going to re-roll that.
This is to confer some advantage. So with your +5, I'll give all the groups advantage that are attacking. Mercenaries, your guard, and the random mercenaries that have just been armed by reclaimed weapons, let's say. So everyone's going to get some bonuses. Now, when it comes to being attacked by zombies, just in order to simulate what's about to happen, I'm going to put some dead zombies up here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to do an attack for each group, but I'm also going to ask you to attack as well, Lothar. So you can just target one of the zombies and roll, and I'm going to do the same with each of the groups.
Let me just check I've got my...
There won't be a charging bonus because, well...
I'm jabbing over a wall.
You're jabbing over a wall.
Do I have an advantage as well, or just my men?
Yes, you have yourself an advantage for being part Tillian. Yeah, for being amazing.
Cool. Roll.
Okay, I'm going to roll twice for the mercs. Once for the bodyguard of plenty. And a roll with a short spear for them. Okay. Not so good, pretty good, pretty good. That wasn't including the advantage as well. And let's go with the zombies. And a 1. And a 2, and a 3, and a 4. Okay, now I have to try and figure out who the fuck's who's versus who. Okay, so the zombies are just crap. Universally rubbish. Okay, well I like the fact that that kind of coincides with your leadership role. So, the first, let's call it a wave of undead, meet with the wall. Your troops trained with spears, longer reaching weapons, easily able to stab over the top. It's a bit like that scene from The Walking Dead where you're just stabbing zombies in the head through a fence. It even seems like child's play for a few moments. A few of the mercenaries around you are laughing. Ha ha ha, this is easy! And your guard too share a few boasts. And on that note, we have a 1, 2, and a 3. Okay. Roll me a 1d3, please, Lothar. On a roll of a 2, it's one of your guard.
A 1d3.
Yes. Oh, okay. Well, I like the aesthetic of that. Oh, shit. So, as one of your guard by your side, Lothar, is mocking how easy this is to slay these wretched, slow-moving creatures, a gash of blood suddenly erupts from the side of his head as an arrow pierces by the side of his skull, giving him an extra hole in his ear. Only magic can heal this.
If it's suffered again.
Minus 20 related to hearing. Okay, well, he's going to basically duck behind the wall afterwards, just reaching for the side of his head to figure out what the hell just happened. You can see clear as day because there have been a small flurry of arrows that have just been launched overhead, some even hitting the zombies in the back. I will ask what Lothar would like to do in that situation.
Is it just the one wave of arrows, or?
Oh, you can wait and find out.
No, it's quite alright.
If you wait like 10 seconds, you'll probably know.
Actually, do our guys have shields?
Most of them do, yes.
Yeah, so just yell shields up.
Okay. I'll ask you for an
Try and
average
hold the wall
leadership
a bit
roll.
longer.
Just to see if we can convey that to some sort of mechanical advantage. Yes, you can. Shield wall! Okay, after the first volley, a couple of arrows do find their mark in the first, but later, a significant advantage to your troops, as raising shields up while fighting, having a clear direction of where the arrows are coming from via your guidance, no more hits are suffered. Now we return back to the Garden of Myrrh. Yodicus, Lazarus, Jerbadiah. Bodies are rising all around you. One of the mercenaries with Yodicus is somewhat less than happy, one could say.
So there's a lot of them, sir.
Well, then I guess we're going to have to be quick.
Right, sir.
Yodicus. An average perception for me, please. That'll do.
Apparently the
Yodicus.
smoke cleared.
After looking at him, you briefly look around to survey your surroundings. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. The tower's a little bit on fire.
Damn it!
Fuck
Of
you,
course.
Quasimodo!
Of course.
There's smoke.
It was the hunchback all along!
There's smoke coming out, I'm sorry. But it catches your eye for a second and then... It just hits you. Okay. So,
What's wrong?
Looks like we weren't the intended target. Gentlemen, unfortunately, I'm going to have to take my leave. I point at the tower.
Well, do we stay here and fight, or should we come with you?
Well, we should probably stay, considering if we don't, there's going to be zombies attacking our front from the
You
rear.
make a fair point, Lazarus.
Unfortunately,
then.
it looks like I'm going to have to take care of this problem myself. Gentlemen, as you were,
Right?
and I, very tired, dash off.
oh,
Just shaking my head, just shaking my head. Why me?
why do I have to go and save the lady?
Who probably wants to kill me.
I bet what he's thinking is if I save her life, my girlfriend will kill me.
And if I don't save her life,
my girlfriend will kill me. Exactly.
It's like, well, if I save her, I'm dead. And if I don't save her, I'm dead. Well, eh.
Yeah.
Sigh.
Sigh. Sigh, sigh, sigh. Okay. What we're going to do just for Jebediah and Lazarus is we're going to roll you guys both an initiative. Hiccup, hiccup. That is... Yoticus is running away right now, so that's Lazarus. Well, Lazarus and Jebediah, you can both just attack, like, well, what's the word? The thing. You target a zombie and attack it, please.
Okay.
I would point out there's a lot of them now. The thing. Do the thing. I sound like the pig from Enchanted. Do the thing.
Yes.
I haven't had an NPC that talks like him yet. I am a pig. Anyway. Yeah, that's not going to work. Twang, says the bow to Lazarus. Swoosh, says the hook to Jebediah. Jebediah, you are going to be met with a zombie that's probably going to roll potato. Yeah, okay. So you can get yourself one advantage there. Oh, okay, you can keep your 3. Lazarus, you take aim at one of the... yeah, actually, even with your bonuses, short range... yeah, okay. Twang, a near miss. Each of you this round, instead of the single zombie attacking, will have 2 charging you. Now, gentlemen, instead of just rolling 2 dice for each, I'll just give them a +20 to make it quicker. So 1 outnumbering attack against Lazarus. Pretty rubbish standard zombie moves. A very good dodge in response. And Jebediah. Let's see how you fare against the zombie charge. 39. Okay. I think you've got like a, what, 80 to beat, so good luck. Feel free to get hit. Feel free to get hit. No, never mind. Never mind. Just wreck all of my monsters. That's fine. It's fine. And I'll give a roll for the mercs as well. Now... 1, 2, 3. Oh, good lord. Okay, good, crap, good. Okay. We'll remove a couple. I'll say effectively the zombies are acting like a swarm now, just to make life a little bit easier. Each of you will take 1 damage. Sorry, you lose your advantage. I'm a horrible GM. And you take 1 wound. Just because there's more than 7 of them. Nope, not that many. Not that many either. There we go.
Down to 1 wound.
Then I gave you 111, so, you know, swings and roundabouts. Oh, you've got 1817 for, good lord. There we go. And the mercs are piling in with you. You guys are, I'll say, within the garden, you're doing a fairly decent job of holding them off. The majority of them by now have diminished. There's a handful left to mop up. Within a few moments you'd likely do so. But we'll briefly go now to a tower. Yoticus, can you make me an athletics roll, please? Challenging. Don't fumble. Unless you like butter.
Unless I do. Unless I like butter, exactly. I don't.
Okay. I don't like butter. You're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's the buttery one. Okay. So, can you roll me a d10, please?
Oh, let's see here. Roll d10. Sorry.
That's okay.
There we go. Let's see if it goes. There we go. It worked.
Okay. For 1 round, Quasimodo that's been laying the smack down on Greta. 4 minus 3. That's what we're rolling with. So we are going to... And you also rolled amazing on your perception, so I like how this is working out. We're going to roll an average here. No, okay. Good bad guy. Good bad guy. Go on, oppose it. She wins. Fine. Okay. So you burst in the door to find Quasi with a dagger in hand, attempting to stab her in the centre of the chest. And an oil lantern unfortunately spilt on the floor. Flames starting to pour up the curtain. By starting, I mean they're well on their way. Yodicus, what are you up to?
I'm going to charge him and pull out my pistol and point it at his head and discharge into his brain.
Okay. Well, he's not engaged, so you're just going to run up to him and shoot him, I guess. He is engaged.
Shoot him in the
head. Yeah, he is engaged at least, so only in terms of combat, not maritally. So what we're going to do is a plus 40 for you.
All right. 1 second.
So if we're going for a point blank, he will attempt to dodge as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not expecting great things from that. No, especially with that plus 10. You really want to shoot him. Yeah, no.
I walk up to him and execute him.
Bang, square in the head, falls down clean to the floor. And now you have Greta to contend with. My hero, darling.
I look at Greta. Your taste in servants is terrible, madam. If you would, I offer my arm.
I'm ready to be saved now, darling. She is going to... With the way you've been rolling, she is going to leap into your arms. Make me an athletics roll, please.
Oh, God. She's gonna kill me. Average or challenging?
Average. She's like 4'3". She's getting
not,
shorter
is she
as the session goes
or
on.
Is she just small?
No, she is small and weighs appropriately so for her small stature.
I'm gonna use my fortune to not face plant or have her
not drop her down the stairs.
Yes, like we're
that
not.
Would be bad.
The butter is going to kill her. There we go.
Okay. She leaps into your arms. My castle's on fire, darling. Will you save me?
I believe we can arrange that, and I start walking down the stairs, praying to God that there's no other assassins waiting on the rafters.
Roll a challenging perception test, please.
I knew it. I knew it.
Good news! There is one, and you spot them. Can you roll an initiative test for me, please?
Initiative. Any rating challenging?
Challenging. I'm trying to find an appropriate spy. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Challenging initiative in place. Okay. Okay. 44. She failed. You just about passed. Okay, you get to attack first. You do have 2 hands occupied right now. You're holding on to Greta.
I will shift Greta because she's not that much bigger than a teenager to my left arm, draw my pistol from the other holster, and shoot this person in the face again.
Okay. So I'll say as you're going down the spiral staircase, they're kind of hiding behind the curtains in one of the windows. And just kind of draw it to the side, reaching up with the dagger as you step past. Yeah, take a shot, point blank.
Oh, I did there.
Why couldn't you just fall down the stairs and do as you're told?
Not happening.
No, definitely not. I don't know why they rolled
Goodbye,
initiative, but yeah, pretty much a bang, falls backwards.
Out the window.
Out the window. And you carry on carrying Greta down the stairs while her tower slowly goes up in flames.
Madam, I'm going to have words with your servants after this is done. Assuming any of them are still alive.
I'm feeling rather faint, darling. Take me
Tell me,
somewhere safe.
Have you had any visitors that were perhaps a mite bit shorter than yourself and had these, shall we say, interestingly large noses come by as of late? Because I'm afraid I've had them bedeviling me for quite some time, and I can't help but wonder if these fine folks are working for them.
Oh, good lord. You're going to have to resist this, as she says, "Stop talking and kiss me, darling."
Oh, geez. Well, this be a cool check.
Yeah.
Challenging.
Cool,
I don't know.
Or like dexterity to be like, quick,
Athletics.
head round the side, cheek hug.
I look away abruptly as we challenging athletics.
Yeah, sure. Do whatever you like.
Geez.
Chuck her over your shoulder. I don't know. Yeah.
I shift her. I just shift from one hip to the other hip, and it probably moves her head around so she can't make out with me. And I'm literally thinking, God, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me.
Okay.
I don't want to die.
She shifted. You're safe for now. We'll shift back to our. Oh God, who was it? Who did? What was the current order? I don't know. Are we on the garden now, or are we back to Talak?
Probably the wall.
Yeah, I think the wall at this point.
The wall makes sense.
We kind of jumped around.
I'm down with the wall. Lothar. Thus far, the wall is holding reasonably well. The dead are piling up, but your men are holding. Is there any change in strategy for what seems to be working thus far?
Not currently. I will probably withdraw next turn because the bodies will probably pile to the point where they can just walk over the walls. So not for this turn.
Okay.
Unless the other left right has just come running back to tell me that the feathered bucks have advanced from the north.
Not yet.
Jolly good.
Okay, what's the fumble? Okay. One of the new mercenaries strikes one of the others. The rest of them are doing pretty good. And let's have some zombie rolls. Do you want to roll me an attack as well, Lothar, just to see how you're contributing to the fight?
Yep. Do you want me to target as well?
Yeah, I put a zombie up in the mid.
Am I on 1 or 2 advantage because I was leadershiping last time?
Yeah, I have 2. Okay, crappy. I mean, they don't outnumber yet. Oh, well, they would have been plus 20 for all of them. It doesn't matter because they're all so bad. Okay, good job, zombies. You all suck. Okay, nicely done. Extra few zombies slain. So, there are literally dozens of zombies right now, littering the walls surrounding this town. But the line of opponents continues to march toward you. And not only that, but those that you have slain are getting back up again. The difficulty with the wall is, even having stabbed them once in the centre of the chest and pushed them over, quite often it's the same dead that stands back up again, and you have to get done dead again. So
I'm going to change of plan if I've got long enough.
Yeah, I will say so. At the end of this round, you're now at the point where each of those men at the wall is effectively 3-1, with one of those being a zombie that's already been killed once at least.
So I'm going to yell to them to start to withdraw, and I'm going to grab 2 of them and ask them to see if they can find lamp oil in the town. Or any combustible fuel that we can set fires to retreat.
Roger, what, sir? What? Left, right.
Runs off. And, okay. I would say 15 to 20 seconds later, a few of the lanterns have been raided within the town, and maybe in a combat round or 2, but we can sort of fast track a little bit for that. What's happening in the garden at the moment?
Probably some fighting, I'd imagine.
Finishing them off, are we? Mm-hmm. Okay. Jebediah and Lazarus, just each make me an attack, please.
Okay.
Nicely done. Nicely done. Okay, Jebediah. It's as if your boat hook is finally failing you. Well, let's see how the zombie does in response, though, because I'm betting that he's kind of bad. Mental note. Need more than zombies. Oh, my word.
Ooh.
The first zombie has finally inflicted no damage because I forgot to attack with a weapon. Oh no, it's 6 damage. No damage values. Well, it was 6 damage. It's basically 1 damage. By the time we factor in your armor and such. Let's quickly look at your stats. 3, 4. Okay, it's 2 damage. And to Grim, we're just going to do 1 opposed attack between you guys. So, so either of you can damage either. Yes, this isn't really by the book. +0 against your +0. Your target's slightly better. I forgot to give them the outnumbering advantage. 7 damage. Minus... No, just 7 damage. The mercs will probably clear them up now, but... a small scrape for you, Lazarus. And that is to your... oh, to your head. Sorry, I'm just struggling to 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, 3 wounds. Not too much. You'll be fine. Mercenaries will make some rolls. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely dog crap.
Mercenaries are well worth the money.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sure. A mercenary gets eaten in front of you. I mean, it serves him right for rolling like an absolute mong. The rest, I will say, are struggling right now. It's no longer a swarm. It's going to take you a while. Jebediah, Lazarus, you've got three good men with you fighting down 4 zombies at the moment. It's your choice. It's your choice. But unfortunately, neither of you have an advantage to get away. So, looks like you're going to be tied up here for another round. Each roll me 1 more attack. Let's get this over and done with before we move back to the others. So, roll me another swing, please.
Okay. And
this... we're just going to do 1 compressed roll for the fight. So, this is against you, Jebediah, first. So, -4 plays -8. Okay. Fine. You can have that one. I'll give you that. And Lazarus...
It's telling me I'm at a -10.
Just remove it. It's because it causes fear. I think. So basically it's just... you're just -6 instead.
Well,
Okay, well that will be -4. If we ignore the -10. Which is... oh no, the zombies are actually climbing on top of you. Let's see if your mercs save you.
save me.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Oh, no. One of them's awake.
Yeah, okay. One of them might do okay.
We have the zombies instead.
Yeah, you guys should just join the undead. -7, -4, -3. There you go. That. Okay. Fine. Right, you'll mop them up, but each of you get hit. Jebediah, Lazarus, can you both roll me average endurance roll, please?
Okay.
Okay, one of you failed. I'm sure it will be fine. Let's move on. Where is Geodicus going with the princess? There's a question.
I think I'm going to try to meet up with Lothar because it seems like it's the safest option. Just because we can put troops between her and the problem, potentially.
That reminds me, actually. Lothar. I'll come right back to you, Jodicus. Gentleman arrives.
Sir. The torch-wielding folk wearing the feathers, they've left.
They've left?
Yes. They have retreated into the woods. Or tactically withdrawn, I am uncertain.
That's fine. One less enemy is in our favour at the moment. See if you can find anything that's burnable, any wood or scrap or carts or barrels or anything, and start blocking up the streets with it. We'll set them on fire as we retreat to this centre.
What you are, sir?
Meanwhile, two of your compadres arrive back, carrying in hand oil lanterns, which I assume are going to be covering your retreat.
Indeed.
Okay. And to finish up, Jodicus, you are putting distance between you and the clanging of steel? Did I hear that right?
Towards it.
I'm actually moving towards the clanging of steel because I'm trying to get. I'm trying to get to. Well, I also need to tell Lazarus about the assassination attempt. There's like, wait,
okay, sure. Let's just roleplay that out. I can't change the camera anymore because it's crashed. But for the last few moments, Lazarus running up to you, holding a princess, is Jodicus with her. Probably, if you've been running over your shoulder by now, who seems to have passed out.
Lazarus, where's Lazarus? Is he still alive, or did he get eaten?
Here, Jodicus.
You're alive? Well, good. Thank God for that. Now, Lothar. I'm looking around to see where he's at, probably smiting people on top of a wall or something. I don't know where he is.
Busy looking heroic.
Pillars of fire would probably be giving it away as I'm burning things down.
They tried to assassinate her.
Ooh.
Just a few minutes ago. I point at my shoulder.
Who tried to kill her?
Well, that's a great question, and I plan to ask it. What happened to the rest of the raiders? Weren't there supposed to be some living people with this bunch?
There were. They left.
I'm gonna see if I remember this. Actually, I don't know if I will or not.
Does that mean they're retreating?
No idea, but they're not here now.
Point of clarification: the occasional arrow is still coming down overhead, Lothar.
I guess my guys would still be keeping their shields up for that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at that very carefully. Maybe back up a little bit with the unconscious Baroness on my shoulder.
Quick, do you have a Lord Reichland for me?
Me? Yes.
Yeah, you. Knowledgeable person.
Average or challenging?
Challenging in the heat of the moment.
Fine. That's fine, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I'll be darned.
You're like,
Nice.
they had feathers? What sort of feathers? There was a village to the north of here. The translation from Reichspiel translates to the people of the Raven. They're followers of Tal.
Interesting.
That's kind of...
Tell you...
With your +4, that's kind of all you get, but it's it also kind of like, oh yeah, I've heard about some Raven folk.
Interesting. Lothar.
Yep.
Do we have any means of trying to track these people while we deal with these dead?
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll just hold off 400 undead whilst we get Rex down here to have a look at what's going on.
So the answer is no. Fair enough. I think I'm going to gently place down the princess, get my rifle ready, and wait for the first available zombie to make it around the corner from the burning death, assuming that any of them make it through it, and get to work.
I'm guessing the zombies are still advancing, as there's arrows also still occasionally flying out the smoke.
Yes.
So I'm going to yell to Heinrich to start trying to get people out to the north, because it looks like that way's clear. We might have to abandon the town.
Okay. Gentlemen, I cannot run forever, and we have run over. I don't feel we need to do endeavours, given I think we'll just continue next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Directly from here, with we'll perhaps have to narrate your individual stories if we have a rotation in cast, but we'll figure something out. But as I can't change backdrop, let's see if I can at least change music. Adventure? Nah, fuck it. Alright, gentlemen, let's have some closing remarks from you while I just moan about Foundry and the world. Closing remarks.
Well, I wonder what those feathered people were doing.
Right.
I want to know how we're going to survive.
I think we just need to leave. We need to abandon the city.
About it. Abandoned ship.
Yeah.
Speaking of shipping,
Because once we're surrounded, we can't leave.
Indeed. Yeah. Although if they're followers of Tal to the north, we should be able to still leave that way.
We can hope.
That is...
It'd be a real bugger to be shot by our own guys.
Assuming that they're working for, they're not actually agents of the dead.
That's true. They could be the raiders.
Don't know.
Hopefully they follow Tal and won't, but...
No, we can always try.
To be honest, it's going to be a flip a coin with them, so they might kill us or they might help us, whereas if we stay here, they will kill us.
You're forgetting the option of they might not do anything.
True.
It's also fine, because that's not killing us.
I'll live with that.
I am fine with any outcome that isn't them adding more arrows to the problem.
Right. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I feel it's fine. Everything's fine. I think that there's a strong possibility that, given that they're dressed like crows, that they might talk a little bit like Chapter Master Valrak, aka the Night's Watch, aka King of the North. We'll find out. I don't know.
All the same person.
Well, yeah, hi, and hello, and welcome back again. We're here. Monday will be a thing. We'll probably be playing then as well. I don't really know. The stuff is just happening in sessions in front of me. I'm letting it manifest, quite simply because I just don't have any time to prepare anything. But the players, I will say, I tip my fedora to you all for being gentlemen and scholars, and in some case gravediggers, and in some case... lady wooers, not that I'm giving you any choice, but such is the life of a man in a good hat.
Now I have a jealous girlfriend, so that makes life a lot harder.
Yeah, you might not survive this regardless.
That's the real big bad.
I've dodged it so far.
Thank you very much, chat. Thank you very much, Howling. Hope you've had a great day. Feel free to check out the whole goddamn campaign. And we'll see you all next time. Which will actually be Monday at the same time, so I'll just tell you what.